Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Simply Sheeta. And did you miss me? I missed you guys. I really did. I am back here to tell you guys how I have been adjusting to post-op VSG. As of today, I am 6 weeks and 3 days post-op. Yeah, about 6 weeks, 3 to 4 days. So there has been a little and a lot has happened since I talked to you guys. But stay tuned and I'll fill you in. Welcome back. Okay guys, so as I said, I am 6 weeks, pretty much 6.5 weeks post-op VSG. My surgery was on July 31st, 2019 at Pennsylvania Presbyterian Hospital here in Philadelphia. My surgeon is Dr. Gary Corris, and I definitely recommend Dr. Corris to anyone. Excuse me from looking away, guys, but I have taken a lot of notes so I could be sure I wouldn't forget anything this week. So let's start with the basics, which is, of course, my stats. Everybody wants to know the stats. I am 5'7". My highest weight at the beginning of my journey, highest recorded weight, I should say, was 329 pounds. The day of surgery, I went in at 308, and today I am 281 pounds, which gives me a grand total loss since I've seen you guys. Alexa, what is 308 take away 281?
308 minus 281 is 27.
Which brings me to 27 pounds since surgery. Yeah. I am not completely happy with the number, honestly, but at the same time, I know I have never lost that much weight in that period of time. I mean, in my pre-op, I lost 20 pounds and it took me 6 months. So to lose that much weight in 6 weeks, you know what? I had to tell myself, like, I can't trip over that, because you really cannot compare your journey to anyone else's. It will definitely, especially if you're on social media as I am, you know, if you're on Instagram and you're following people on Instagram and you see that they may have lost in the same period of time, you know, more weight, some lose less, but the bottom line is you just cannot compare your journey to anyone else's. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that because that still gives me an average loss of about 4 pounds a week, which again, I've never done that either. So one of the big things that, as I said, I've been going through is kind of having, being in my feelings about the amount of weight that I've lost. I think I was in a stall for a little bit. I had actually talked to a couple of people because I really was concerned that I'm like, did I break this thing? Like, I did not go through all the surgery, guys, just to turn around and not lose a significant amount of weight. So, I talked to some people, and there were a couple of things that I realized. I watched some videos on weight loss stalls to get information. And one of the things that I had to realize, and I have realized, is, you know, my body is redistributing weight. I am losing inches. I can feel it. I can see it. When I wake up every morning, my closet has a mirror. So every morning I wake up and get out of the bed, the first thing I see is myself. So I can see that I've lost weight. But the scale is not moving as much as I would like it to be. But that's simply because my weight is redistributing itself. One of the other things that I've realized since that I am now in the stage where I kind of can eat more foods and less protein drinks, specifically having less protein drinks, I can eat more of my protein. I also believe that I contribute some of the slow weight loss to the fact that I really have not been staying hydrated. I can eat a lot, but I haven't been drinking as much as I should. So, one of the biggest things that I would say to anybody that's post-op or in this weight loss journey is do not allow yourself to get discouraged by what the scale says. It is not a true definition of who you are as well as what you've done. Even if that scale doesn't move, take your before and after pictures, take your measurements, because you will be able to find that the weight may have stayed the same, but you are losing inches, which is always a good thing because it makes you feel like, okay, I'm accomplishing something. So guys, right about now, I am in my program, phase 5, which basically means that I can consume 600 to 800 calories. My protein numbers are the same, 60 to 80 grams of protein a day, as well as my liquid, 48 to 64 ounces of liquids are still the expectations in this phase. This phase is very important, I realized, for logging. Up until I started to really, started to eat more foods, I wasn't really concerned about locking because you guys know, for me, it was 2 of these to get my protein goals, 3 bottles of fluids, and the rest I kind of let to go to the wayside. Well, now that I'm eating a little bit more, at least in my program, they want us to eat a little bit more of our protein instead of drinking it. I'm finding it's a little bit of a requirement. It's not even a little bit. It is a requirement now for me to actually log to be sure that I'm meeting protein goals. I am still not able to eat a meal. I am still a 3-bite wonder. I have no problems with it. I actually appreciate my restriction. But for the most part, guys, I still can no longer eat more than 3 bites of anything at a time. My food is really basic. I have been eating, of course, eggs. Really, guys, honestly, there really isn't anything I can't eat. I have been able to eat anything that, some things I can tell, like if I eat something that's spicy, I can kind of feel it a little bit. But I haven't had any problem eating anything. I haven't gotten sick from anything. Some things I've noticed, my taste buds have changed. I've never was a person that liked to put salt on my food. Now I notice, like I seek flavor in food now, which is weird. It's like I might add salt, whereas before I didn't. Sweet stuff is super sweet. I'm very careful about what I eat and drink with sugar because it's so sweet. And most of the time, even the Crystal Lights, I'm finding myself needing to water those down because 1 full pack in the bottle of water is just a little too sweet for me. But I'm able to pretty much handle anything and everything I eat. My biggest thing is just I would like to eat a meal. I would like to get through a meal, and I don't mean a big meal. I just want to be able to eat a protein, a veggie, and that carb if I can get to it, which I really don't care at this point. I miss vegetables. I never thought I would say I long for a salad or vegetables, but guys, I miss it so bad, and I am still trying to figure out how I can get to that point. I think part of my issue is the fact that I do not continue to eat. When I eat my meal, after I have that full filling, I'm done. I am also not that person. I see a lot of people in the VSG community, when they post their pictures, their before and after pictures of food they eat, they make large amounts of food. The person in me that hate to waste food, I cannot do that. So knowing I can only eat pretty much 3 little bites of food, I do not prepare any more than that. I don't know if that's probably why I'm having such a hard time getting a meal in, but when I'm full, that's it. Eating is over. I know in my program, my nutritionist said that we should eat. We should not take more than 45 minutes to eat. Now, my thing is when I eat, okay, 3 bites in, I'm full. So then I'm sitting there and I can't eat anything else for another 15, maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour. And by then it's cold. So I'm turned off and or I'm thirsty. So the last thing I want to do is eat more food because I'm ready to drink. So I'm trying to figure that all out. I see my nutritionist on the 23rd when I go back to see my surgeon. So I'm going to see what she can suggest. But I'm not mad. Honestly, guys, I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with the way that my eating is right now because it's not like I'm in the gym, whereas I'm really working off a lot. My gym has been my house and my housework. Working out for me has been really just being, with my dogs and doing things around my house, because it's not like I'm in a gym or I'm doing anything else. So again, I'll take it. I have my blah 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 book, so excuse me guys for looking down, but again, I definitely wanted to make sure that I covered everything this week. One of the things I did want to talk about is the last video I talked about some of the things that I wanted to work on. One being consistency, which I believe I've done a pretty decent job. I had a couple of things I wanted to be consistent with. One is starting my day with protein, which you guys can see that is a no-brainer. I start my day off with that, and taking my thyroid medication, journaling and or meditating, which I do every day. So I've been consistent with that. Taking all medication, guys, I'm not going to lie, I have been having a very hard time. I have to get back on track with taking all of my medication. This B12 complex I have is disgusting. I told you guys about it, and I think I may have found something that I'm going to replace it with, but I still have to use what I have. But I'll talk about my medications in another video, because I do need to make some changes so it'll be easier to take them, because having vitamins you don't take is pointless. And intermittent fasting. Well, guys, I thought I was doing a pretty good job with intermittent fasting, but I think I'm going to have to wait a little further in my journey, because unfortunately I still was not meeting my goals. It was difficult to meet my goals. And on this one day, I had a huge migraine, and it kind of shut me down at about 2 in the afternoon one day, and that kind of just threw everything off. Like my fasting schedule was off, and I just never got back onto it. But I think for right now, I need to learn how to eat a regular meal. I need to learn how to properly get nutrition before I start trying to do fasting, because it wasn't working for me, because I was not getting the amount that I needed every day, because I just couldn't eat enough. One of the other things that I've noticed and I've discovered, guys, since the last time I talked to you, is slider foods. Yeah, you hear about slider foods, and I found one, popcorn. CVS has this brand of popcorn. It's called Heavenly Light. Guys, it is the best popcorn. It is light. It's not bad in calories. It's really good. However, popcorn is one of those slider foods that you hear about, that you can eat it, and you're eating it and not even realizing how much you can eat, until you look down and you're like, oh my god. Like, slider foods are those foods that you will eat mindlessly. Potato chips, pretzels, popcorn. For some is candy and cakes. For some is tortilla chips and salsa. So it could be anything that pretty much is easy to eat. The way they work, it kind of just is just simple, processed carbs, and it just slides straight through your stomach, into your small intestine. So you can easily eat a lot more of that, because you don't get that full filling. That is definitely not a good thing. That is just not a good thing. And for me, eating this popcorn, the first thing I wanted to do after eating the popcorn is, of course, drink. So I had to just give that up. I was like, you know what? I'm glad to see I can eat popcorn, but to just eat it, is something I can't do. I'll save that for when I go to a movie, or, like when I go to a movie, I like to have popcorn. So you know what? I'll just save it for that. I'll save it for popcorn, for the movies, because it's just not worth it otherwise. But guys, honestly, so far in my journey, I am satisfied with my progress. I definitely feel my energy level is higher. I feel better. I can feel me getting my swag back a little bit. I definitely feel better about myself and the way I look. I've been trying on some clothes, and like a jacket that I had from last winter. Actually, I bought it a couple years ago, and it's been like really, really tight. I got into that, and I mean, it fits the way it's supposed to fit. Actually, it's probably a little bit too big, but I can wear that this year. And just little things, guys, trying on, like I said, trying on clothes, because one of the things that I also noticed is being in tights a lot. You know, we always wearing tights in the weight loss community because, you know, you're constantly losing weight. It's just the easiest thing. But you can't really tell if you lost weight for a while with tights. Like, I'm just starting to notice some of my tights are getting looser. But, you know, if I put on a pair of jeans, then I can really tell. You know, putting on a pair of jeans that used to be tight or used to fit weird, or because, you know, the way my body was shaped, those little small, you know, non-scale victories are also other ways that I've been noticing that I've been losing weight. But so far, I'm not mad. I can't complain. I am trying to work on the mental part of it. VSG surgery has really changed my whole relationship with food to a point of disenchantment in some senses. Outside of breakfast, when I know that I can have one egg and one piece of bacon, or one egg and one sausage, and really, you know, feel satisfied after that meal, is the only meal that I feel like I understand, like my body understands it. And I can't eat a whole egg. I can't eat, you know, the whole thing. My dogs usually finish it off for me. But it's like after that, the rest of the day is kind of like whenever it's time to eat, it's like, you know, because it's not an enjoyable thing for me anymore. You know, it's the joy that I had with eating is gone now. Eating is solely to live. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to sit here and act like I haven't had like little treats and things like that. I have, you know, I have, because again, there's nothing that I haven't been able to eat. But there was a different type of feeling before. You know, that whole idea of having time and doing things around food, like that's gone. There is absolutely no association with good times and food with me anymore. You know, I was always wanting to go out and eat and do things around food. And the only thing I would say it has actually done is made me cook a lot more for my daughter. I like to cook. It's as weird as it sounds, I like to cook more so now. It's like I just want to be around food, even if I can't eat it. You know, I want to be around it. It's weird, but this whole thing is weird, guys. I mean, I voluntarily had 80% of my stomach removed. That's weird, you know, when you think about it. But again, you know, I signed up for this. I knew what I was signing up for, and I have no regrets. So I'm going to wrap this video up. It's a little bit longer than I thought, and I feel like I've been all over the place. I really wanted to get a video out to you guys because I haven't talked to you. I have an appointment on the 23rd with my nutritionist again, and I'll see my surgeon, so I'll update you guys about that. Also, I meant to mention I did have a primary care visit on this past Friday, so it was my first visit with my primary care physician, and her seeing me since I had surgery. And you know, she was very, very like, oh wow, you look great, how do you like it? But I'll have to talk about it in another video. I kind of wonder about her real feelings about weight loss surgery. And I might have to actually just ask her when I see her again next month, because I don't know. It was weird, but I'll talk to you guys about that in the next video or another video at another time. But I'm going to wrap this video up with thanking you guys for watching. Don't forget, love yourself more. It is very important to embrace yourself in the weight loss journey, because you know there's so many things out there. There's so many people out here in social media that, you know, are doing like astounding things. You know, they're running marathons, and you know, they are crushing it with their surgery, and you can easily begin to, you know, wish that and want that for yourself and feel disappointed in yourself if you don't get that. So that self-love is so much more important. I feel like even more now that I'm in, you know, on the post-op side, I can see how it's really easy to be competitive and to compare yourself with others. But you guys, thank you again for coming back. Please comment, subscribe, like this video, hit the notification bell if you want to keep up, since I don't know if I'm going to really be able to come back every week, because again, I don't feel like it's a lot to say every week at this stage of the game. And as well, I want you guys just to see how I physically have changed, and I don't think you're going to see that as much every week as you will every 2 weeks. But hit that notification bell and you'll know when I'm coming back. So if you have any questions or if you have any advice, if you are post.vsg and you can help me figure out how I can eat more, please leave those comments in the in the section below, because I like reading comments and I do respond to anyone that sends me a comment. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Again, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.
People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same. Like you're doing all this for a reason.